I've got a new order paper question response today, and this one is a little crazy because the response about the Liberals' records keeping with regard to cell phone data was no response at all. So, I guess the question remains, what are they hiding and why? I've got my suspicions. Order paper questions are a parliamentary tool to require the government to answer in writing and in explicit detail within 45 days of the question being submitted to the government by the opposition. It's a great way around the pomp and circumstance and, of course, obfuscation of normal question period where nothing seems to ever get answered. And the Conservatives, they've been using these order paper questions very well lately. This latest order paper question comes from an Ontario Conservative MP named Alex Nuttall. He asked, with regard to the preservation of documents and communication, including PINs, text messages, and all other forms of electronic communication by staff of the Office of the Prime Minister, how many smartphones or other electronic devices assigned to an individual in the Office of the Prime Minister have been, quote-unquote, wiped or cleared of communication sent and received from the device, broken down by month since January 2017, and B, for each instance in A, what was the reason for the device being wiped? Whoa. I think, and I'm only speculating here, that Nuttall was probably tipped off about this happening, about phones being completely wiped by the Prime Minister's office. And I also suspect that Nuttall's question may have something to do with the fact that text messages between former Attorney General Jody Wilson-Raybould and Trudeau's former Principal Secretary Gerald Butz featured prominently in Wilson-Raybould's very damning testimony about how the Liberals may have politically meddled in her prosecution of Liberal-linked, perpetually corrupt, Montreal-based engineering firm SNC-Lavalin. Or it could also have something to do with the impending Admiral Norman trial, also starring Gerald Butz. Admiral Norman is suspended from duty, but he used to be the second in command of the entire Canadian military. And he's charged with breach of trust for allegedly leaking cabinet secrets about a shipbuilding contract being awarded to yet another Liberal-linked Quebec-based company, Davy Shipbuilding. Now, Norman goes to trial in August, and his lawyer can't seem to get the Liberals to hand over the records she needs to wage a defense on behalf of her client. This is from a Toronto Star article. Norman's lawyer, Marie Heinen, noted that she has been fighting since October for records from the Prime Minister's office and the Privy Council office, including with subpoenas last month for Trudeau's, Butz, and Wernick's emails, BlackBerry messages, and other communications. Oh, she wants those cell phone communications from the PMO, and with outgoing Liberal MP Andrew Leslie set to testify at Norman's trial against the government he currently sits in, I think Nuttall is suspicious that the Liberals nuked some cell phones, maybe even Gerald Butz's government cell phone after he resigned from the PMO. I'm suspicious of that now too, and I didn't even think of any of this. Now look at this response to the order paper question, if you can even call it a response from the PMO. The Prime Minister's office fully complies with the Treasury Board of Canada's directive on record keeping. The directive outlines effective record keeping practices that enable departments and agencies to create, acquire, capture, manage, and protect the integrity of information resources of business value in the delivery of Government of Canada programs and services. Did you guys catch the number of phones listed there? Yeah, me neither. Because the government doesn't say. They simply say that they aren't breaking any records-keeping laws, which is an odd thing to insist upon, as in maybe some phones were wiped, maybe some weren't, but boy, we won't say how many, and even if it happened at all. And if it did, it's all above board anyway. Just trust us. Holy cow. Now, I don't have any proof that the Liberals destroyed any cell phones, but if the answer was none at all, why didn't they just say none at all? For the Rebel.media, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. What you just saw there is the daily video that I do here at The Rebel, but did you know that I have my own weekly full-length show? It's aptly called The Gun Show, where I and my guest that week talk about the other side of the issues, from climate change to free speech to how Israel is treated by the mainstream media. But to get access to my show and the rest of our incredible premium content, you need to treat yourself to a Rebel subscription today.